should all blind lands be real and never should all be forgotten and days of old lang swine. For old lang swine, dear, for old lang swine, we'll take a couple of red pills to open our third eyes. To open our third eyes, my dear, and get our chakras working. Hey, it's your old pal Gratu Orloff, man. I had a few records back in Decca Records back in 1958, and one of them went up to number 21 on the charts. Now I'm living here in Gratuville, Texas, doing comic book Tom impressions on the YouTubes. So today we're going to show you the top 100 comics for you to spec on and invest in during the year of 2022. Yeah. So I did a live stream on New Year's Eve, went for 7 hours, then it got blocked because I think I showed like a couple of minutes of Bullwinkle, and that's blocked by Viacom CBS in my country, so I can see it, but it's verboten, forbidden for you to see it. But I had some cool guests, and it was fun, although I was, well, I guess it was fun. I was in a foul mood, and I was yawning all the time, and my wife got upset with me because I was kind of being a jerk and kind of rude. But it's probably just as well that it got banned by the communist Chi-Coms that own Yukaluki Tube. Yuki. Okay, so look at this, man. You know, they used to, when you subscribe to a comic book, they would fold it and put it in an envelope. So you see that fold going down the center of an old comic. It's called a subscription crease. Well, at some point, I guess it's from the 90s, based on the logo, they would they'd have this board there to keep it flat. And say, so this came from Danbury, Connecticut, and went to some guy in Pennsylvania. But I found this in a box of comics. I thought, well, I'll preserve this little slice of comic book history, and I put it in with a bag and board, you know, because I'm that insane here on the Gratu Orloff Inspirational Network, that crazy. Well, a good old friend of the Gratu Orloff Network, Hunter Biden, president's son. Not many people have heard of him, because they kind of keep him quiet, but he's a good friend of ours. I've known him for 25 years. He sent me 2 full short boxes filled with old vintage comics for me, just because he really enjoys my channel, he said, and he appreciates me always talking about what a great president his father is. So he says, hey, I'm going to reward you. I got these comic books that were sent to me free by George Soros, and I don't like to read that much because I do other things, he said. So he sent me all these comics. He said, you can mention me or not, but I really appreciate you being a friend of my family and of the New World Order and the Great Reset. And I'm always talking about how great the Great Reset is, and talking about Klaus Schwab, and he's also a friend of the channel. He sent me a bunch of comics a while back, Klaus Schwab. So it's great to befriend the people that are destroying the planet, because they'll send you free stuff. And oh, speaking of that, I forgot to mention our new sponsor is BlackRock and Blueberry, brought to you from General Mills. It's you know, artificially berry flavored frosted cereal with monster marshmallows. So that's our new sponsor for the new year. What else we got here? Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention this delicious Pop-Tart Bites. It's frosted cookie chocolatey fudge, and Alistair Crowley loves it. He was eating it. He was eating those Pop-Tarts Bites when he died. Right up to his death, he loved them. Just Christmas, lots of cool Christmas gifts. But here's a cool Christmas gift from about 1978. Now the kids play Grand Theft Auto and all these cool video games, but this is what I got back in 1978. I'll have you know, one of those rack toys. So so this is the timer, and this is how I steer. And there's an on and off button too. It's not even battery operated, it's a wind-up thing. So what I got to do is turn it like this. It's much better than Grand Theft Auto. And see, I steer the vehicle through. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I got to steer my vehicle through. Why is it not? It's hard to do it backwards. Okay, I'll do it this way. All right. Now you can see, wow, look at that. I know that you can get a lot of subscribers if you play games on YouTube. I've heard about that, so I thought I'd start doing that. Damn it. Come on. It worked until I tried to show it to you guys. Why is it not? Oh, there we go. Maybe I haven't dusted this since 1978. I'll have you know. But anyway, that dot is supposed. Shit. Dot is supposed to be a car. Let's see. And I'm supposed to be navigating through these walls, just like you would normally do in driving. Damn it. Oh, okay. Man. Of course, as soon as I turn on the camera would be the day that this toy finally gives up the ghost. Oh well. Drive technique. All the gamers are going for that wonderful toy. Okay, well, first comic I'll show you that Hunter Biden sent me is It's Midnight, The Witching Hour. Number 27. It's a January issue, probably about January of probably 72, based on the 20-cent price tag. But look at that wonderful choo-choo train cover. It's a flying witch train. Journey to Oblivion, which should be the official mantra for 2022. Journey to Oblivion. Here's Swamp Thing, number 22. He also sent me this. Now, you can tell a comic's from 1976 because DC had this cigar band with their logo in the center, and or 75, somewhere in there. And then they did this DC Salutes the Bicentennial thing. It's my old idol, Ernie Chua, also known as Ernie Chan, did some great covers for DC back then. I just always loved his art. Very striking. There's some indentation of looks, I don't know if you can see that. It's right about, looks like a credit card deal. Do you see? Okay, I think you can see it there. It's like somebody's name and address. I wonder if I can make that out. Can't. Sorry. Have you the nerve to face the unexpected in 2022? Yeah, so mainly it looks like Hunter Biden sent me a bunch of horror comics. What else did he send? Oh, I already have this, but it's great to have another copy. And this one has a date stamp. Look at that. April 1st, 1970, April Fool's Day. This is a reprint comic. Marvel's Greatest Comics. It's a great way to inexpensively get reprints of Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Captain America, Doctor Strange. Marvel Premiere featuring the Liberty Legion, America's home front superheroes of World War II. It's the Red Skull saying, "I've done it, I've defeated the invaders." And he says, "Maybe so, Skull, but you've still got to deal with us." Wonderful. See, Kirby left. Oh, I was telling you a story. I tried to record this a minute ago, and then I accidentally turned it off. There's this is Jack Kirby art from probably around 1975. He came back, unfortunately, with his tail between his legs to Marvel after he split and went for DC around November of 1967. Jack Kirby, I guess he asked for a raise and was denied the raise, and the story goes Stan Lee said, "Hey, can't give you a raise, but just draw fewer panels on each page." And just about that time, everybody started doing that. Some people say it's because they used to use a bigger page to draw, to pencil and ink. The original art was bigger, and they shrank it a little bit, and so they didn't have the bigger page to work on anymore. So they started drawing bigger panels. But right around 68, Marvel was bought out by this guy named Ackerman, not Forrest J. Ackerman, but some big corporate lawyer or something, and he raised the price to 15 cents on the comics, and he got rid of he figured out how to get Marvel to put out more titles, because Marvel had been put out, their titles had been distributed by a distributor that DC used, and so they kind of tried to control Marvel's output by only allowing them to put out a certain number of titles per month. But then Marvel in 68 was allowed to expand and have an explosion of titles, and before, like Doctor Strange, the Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man, Submariner, they all had to be paired up in comics, like Tales of Suspense and Tales to Astonish. But in 68, they all got their own titles, and the Silver Surfer got his own title, and all these different new titles came out from Marvel. But for the most part, you notice in those comics from 68 on, there's not as much detail in the art, and the panels are bigger, and a lot of times there's not any words on the pages because they're cranking them out. And so there are some people that say that the Silver Age really ended right at the end of 1967, 68 on. But, to me, and then some people say, well, the Silver Age really ended, or the Bronze Age began when Conan the Barbarian #1 came out. But the way I've always looked at it, because when I was a kid, I started buying comics as a little kid, probably around 1970. So to me, this this corner box was exotic, because the comics when I was a kid had this going across the top. So when I saw a comic that had this, I was like, wow, that's amazing, that's exotic. So to me, what I wanted to do is take everything from about 1971 or so, when they got rid of this, and back, and put it in separate boxes, and have everything from the Bronze Age up. And to me, it was just an easy way to just anything with this is Bronze Age and up. So that's how I divided my comics about the time I started doing this YouTube channel. So I've got all my older comics in the other room, and I want it to look pure, like a collection that has just been rediscovered from someone that stopped collecting about 1971, and it's only the old stuff. So that's how I divided it up. And But that was, but now, you know, some people are saying, well, actually, things changed in '68. And, the other thing Jack Kirby did in November, did I just say this or not? November of '67, he just said, when he was denied that raise, he stopped creating new characters for Marvel. All these great characters he created in the early and mid '60s, just an explosion, especially in the Fantastic Four. That's where most of them were popping up, and in Thor. And he just stopped creating new characters. He kept them. He was still creating characters in his mind and probably, you know, on paper at home, but he was saving them for, ultimately he went to DC, and that's with the New Gods and all that. But he wrote his own stories, and they weren't as good as what he did with Marvel. But anyway, I was just reading an article with someone, and their premise was saying their premise was that the Silver Age really died in '68, and I can see their point. Here's a copy of Unusual Tales from Charlton. Thank you, Hunter Biden, featuring the primitive parallel. I gotta divide these books. Okay, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna divide this ones from the '70s up and leave them in here. I'm gonna take these older ones, like this Unusual Tales. This looks like it's from about 1964, '65 to me. Just guessing. This one is 20 cents, so I'm gonna leave it in this room. Then someone was telling me I really ought to divide my Marvel from my DC, and I thought, oh, that's a good idea. And then I thought, no, I can't do that. It's just, you know, I gotta have. It's too insane. Oh, it's New Year's, so this cover, Bugs Bunny's filling out his New Year's resolutions. I will not snitch carrots from Elmer Fudd's garden. So it's not in terrible shape. Got a tear up here from Dell, also from the Hunter Biden collection. So put that there. Man-Thing 7. You know, Hunter, I don't think I have a copy of Man-Thing 7. It does not look familiar. Good Lord, the bullets go right through that thing, and he keeps on coming. Classic comic collector doesn't like Swamp Monster comics. Like, he's a really cool guy. Getting just to watch his channel, and it's like, how can you not like monster comics? You're a cool guy. It's like my wife. How can you not like the Beach Boys? They're great. It's like hearing the angels from heaven singing, at least the Brian Wilson era, you know. And she says, the people I know that grew up in California tend not to like the Beach Boys. So I guess they overplay them there. But how can you overplay early to mid '60s Beach Boys? I don't know. I can't relate to that. Everyone should think exactly like me. Oh, here's a more recent comic. This is from a few years ago. This issue of Thor. But the cool thing about this, I was showing it the other night, unfortunately it has this awful Mark of the Beast UPC code. But if you ignore this, and if you ignore the Walt Simonson era Thor logo, and just look at that, it looks like you're looking at 1960. Just looking at that, it looks like you're in 1965 there. It looks like the Jack Kirby era. This question mark, the blurb, it's 90s, but doesn't look as horrible as most 90s books. So that's that gets a thumbs up from Old Gratu. Put that there. Oh, I got this free. This wasn't from Hunter Biden. I got this free as a Christmas present. It's a collection of reprinted Batman comics. It reprints Batman 21 through 25. So it should have lots of great Dick Sprang art. Take this horrible cellophane off of it. So what lies ahead in the year 2022, which that's the year Soylent Green took place in. Yeah, we watched all these movies back in the 70s about dystopian futures and horrible things, and I never really thought it would really happen. And when I read 1984 back in junior high, it's like they're following it page by page. As long as they artificially keep the price of gas a few pennies below $3 by using up our strategic reserves, I guess people won't fully notice what's going on. Okay, so this is one of those archive editions. It's a $40 book, but it was free, so that's a good price. Yeah, it reprints these Golden Age Batman comics. So there's a Batman movie coming out in, is it next month? Seen the trailers for it. It doesn't look bad. It looks, it's just the Bruce Wayne when he's not wearing the cowl. He's got this kind of emo long hair, like he's in some boy band or something, some real, I don't know. But this, that's how Bruce Wayne's hair is supposed to be, just so the producers of that movie know. But it looks like, you know, I like the car chase where the cars are flipping. I don't see Batman shooting guns like he did in the Zack Snyder movie, which makes no sense. The Riddler looks nothing like the real Riddler, nor does the Penguin. Catwoman, I mean, they've made, you know, some changes to her, but I mean, they did the same thing in the third season of Batman. I'll accept that. But we'll have to see how it goes. This doesn't actually look bad. Some of the early DC archives, you could tell they hired peasants somewhere to redraw the art and trace it, and it looked awful. This looks pretty good. Okay. He sent Peter Porker the spectacular Spider Ham. Now, I don't have this particular issue. Peter Porker. Someday people will appreciate Peter Porker. Oh, I already have like several copies of this issue, but I appreciate you sending it to me. It shows that you pay attention to this channel. You know how much I love Not Brand X and the artwork of Marie Severin, and I don't mind having another copy of this. No sir, no ma'am. I love Not Brand X, and this has the origin stories of Charlie America, the Inedible Bulk, and the Mighty Soar. So it's a key issue. Yeah, I'm going to put in, I've got to start putting things into the headlines of these videos, into the trade dress of the video, the title of the video. I'm going to put that, I got to put, tell me down below, what is it that gets people to watch a video? Key issue, CGC, slabbing, spec, is it spec or do they say speculation? People want to know what they should buy because they want to be told by people on YouTube what they should buy because they have no personality and they can't figure out what they like on their own. So they need to be told what's going to be made into a movie and everything. So from now on, I'm just gonna tell you a secret now, and I won't mention it later in future videos. I'm gonna call every issue a key issue, and I'm gonna come up with some reason why it's a key issue. It's gonna be my new thing. And then every video is going to say key issues, and I'm going to get over 1,000 subscribers, and then I'll make some extra money, man. This is a key issue. Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane. It's the first issue where Lois Lane's kryptonite vision is used. She's able to, she says, "You must believe me, Superman. I acquired kryptonite vision by accident. I meant you no harm." "Lois, take your eyes off me. Go far away. You become a menace to my life." Yeah. The horror and the humor. That's like slogan of the Biden White House. The horror and the humor. You don't know whether to laugh or cry. Oh, well, thank you, Hunter, for this copy of Famous Monsters of Filmland, number 95. I already have it, but this could be an upgrade. Look at this beautiful cover. Looks like Kayleigh McEnany, the beautiful press secretary for Donald Trump. If you think I'm being sarcastic, I think vampire women are beautiful. Oh, I've been wanting this since 1976. It's Starlog number 3. I remember buying Starlog number 1 at a 7-Eleven, but I never got Starlog number 3 because we were visiting here in Grotuville, where my brother was going to school, but we were living up in Tacoma, Washington, so I got Starlog number 1, then we went back to Tacoma, and I couldn't find a store that had Starlog. And by the time we moved, then we actually moved to Grotuville, and then Soul Rage Days says, just take the tape off, don't try to put it back on, and then you just start creating a ball of tape, and you see how big it gets, and then you just put new tape on it. And I'm going to start my ball here, January 2nd, 2022. Whatever year it is, something like that. Yeah, I think that's actually a cool idea. I want to look at this issue of Starlog. Oh, cool. Look, it's got a kiss out on the back.
I'll be right back.
I like this artwork. It's got a crossword puzzle, something they would never do in later years. You know, before the internet, this is how you found out about things. I mean, you would buy Starlog, or once Star Wars came out, there were tons of these magazines. Yeah, see, that was the issue I got. Starlog number 1. So they have coverage of Space 1999, which everyone thought was going to be a big deal. Making pictures of spaceships. There's Flash Gordon's spaceship. That's the one from Flash Gordon that looks like a penis. Flash Gordon had great special effects. It's a dirty movie. It's not... Yeah, it's a dirty movie. It's not... There might be a version that's XXX, but the version that mostly it's kind of like X, or NC-17. I think you get an NC-17 if anyone gives that anymore. It really, the people that put that movie out, the original Flash Gordon was, the special effects artist, I think Jim Danforth, worked on it. There was stop motion animation. They treated it like they were really working on a Flash Gordon movie. They treated it with respect. 40 science fiction films made for TV. Yeah. Cool. Honestly, Hunter Biden didn't send these books. I went to a sale at Duncanville Books, and I was just joking. I joke a lot on this channel. This green dot means it's a $5 book. and they were having half price sale on their $5 books, so I got this for $2.50. And all these books I've been showing you have that green dot. This one I bought from a homeless man, but most of them have that green dot, so I bought them for $2.50. And yeah, everything I've shown you so far. And then they also have a $2 bin, and those were on sale for $1. But those have a different dot. So far, everything I'm showing you has green dots. I got them for $2.50. So basically, 2 books were $5. So that's what I learned in math from the public schools. 2 times $2.50 equals $5. This was also a $2.50 book. Giggle Comics. Did I show this before? Some of these I think I showed. I think I showed this in the previous episode. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, okay. So that's a green dot. You know, when I was doing the live stream, you couldn't even tell the difference in the colors. That's how bad StreamYard is. The blue dot means it's a $2 comic. So I got this Baby Huey for $1. Baby Huey, the baby giant. Okay, so that goes in the other room because it's a 12 center. And then the other thing I recently started doing is separating out all the companies that are not Marvel or DC. So I have a special box for Harvey Comics. That was probably not the wisest thing for me to do. Here's Adventure. This is something I have had for years, but I'm having to put it in a special box because it's a 10-cent Adventure Comics. Love the purple covers. It's issue number, I don't know, I can't read it because they have these purple and blue covers. It's almost impossible, especially for an older person, to read the number, the black ink against purple background. This goes in the other room. Okay, so actually the ones that have Golden Age backing boards don't fit in a regular box, so I have to put them in a magazine box. There might be boxes that are slightly wider for Golden Age comics. I'm sure there are. I just don't know where to find them. Here's a Turok Son of Stone that I need to put into this magazine box. Okay. Oh, and I got this. I'm not sure if I own this issue of Mad 147 from December of '71. It's not in the best shape, but it was. This was in the $2 bin, so I paid $1 for it. Yeah, I'm going to pay it for $1, an issue of Mad from when I was 6 years old, of course. It's not something you even have to think about. Okay. This has got some damage. It's Huckleberry Hound for President. It was in the yeah, it was in the $1. It was in the $2 bin. But I need to see how bad this damage is. Oh, I forgot. Take the tape off. Alright, so I'm going to add this tape to this tape. And my goal is to create a giant, massive ball of tape. If you make it fun taking the tape off, then you protect your books and you're having fun. So yeah, someone's like punctured through this book multiple times. It's like someone was stabbing it. It's really annoying. I probably shouldn't have bought this book, but you know, I wanted to read it. And I like the fact that it says Huckleberry Hound for President. And And you know, from a distance it looks okay, and shows a little bit of protest against you know, political protest.
Show starts in 7 minutes.
Green. Okay, the green dot. This was in the $5 bin, so it was $2.50, and there's a lot of speculation about the She-Hulk right now. Well, I bought the first issue of She-Hulk at the Kmart 2 blocks from here, which is now a Kroger. Or was that the first issue of Ms. Marvel? I don't remember. Anyway, I was buying this comic, but I don't think I bought this issue. I guess I wasn't that enthused with it. But now, you know, I get it. This was in the $5 bin, and so it's $2.50, and it's all just barely met my standards. I don't like books that are that beat up. It's just barely, but the cover is so amazing. It's a Go-Go Checks book, and it was something I wanted to read. It says, my God, I killed a boy. I didn't know he was a sniper in an enemy uniform. How can I go on? I mean, I didn't know he was a sniper in an enemy uniform. How can I go on fighting now? Kill one, save one. The action that broke the Rock's heart. Yeah. Which is true. In the last days of World War II, just about everybody had been killed in Germany in their 20s and 30s, so they had to use, you know, kids that were barely in their teens, and then old men that had fought in World War I. Because that was just the way it was. So our army at war, so that would go under O. Okay. That goes there. Richie Rich Millions, number something. Another, let's see, I'll use the magnifying glass on my iPhone. It's that number. I love the coloring here. I love the red, the rosiness of his cheeks, the purple cover. It's all fantastic. Richie Rich Millions, number something. Okay, so I'll put that with the baby Huey to go in my Harvey section. Secret Six. This is a book that has always been easy to get. In the 70s and 80s, if you wanted to have a vintage DC book and you didn't want to spend much money, you get Secret Six, Tomahawk, Metal Men usually was pretty affordable, and they're all fun to read. Metal Men is great, but this is just and Suicide Squad, the original Suicide Squad was always cheap too. These were books that were put out by DC that mostly the older collectors didn't buy. Okay, technically, do you file this under L or S? I filed it under Superman because it's technically the title is Superman's Girlfriend. So I will put Our Army at War, followed by Secret Six, followed by Superman's Girlfriend. Here's the Charlton. Let's see, green dot is $5, so I got this for $2.50. A lot of the older collectors are starting to realize how amazing these romance books are. Keep away from me, Ed. You've had your chance, and now I don't want you near me. And so people are starting to collect these because it's like the last frontier. Romance comics, the final frontier. That and Western comics, the stuff that people didn't collect. You know, when comic stores buy a collection, they'd toss it, or it just wouldn't exist in the collection because this was bought by a whole different crowd of people than what bought, you know, the war comics or the superhero comics. Okay, that's called My Only Love, and it's Charlton. So I'll put that with Unusual Tales. Another copy of Spider-Ham from the $5 bin. So this was $2.50. You don't see Spider-Ham in the wild that often, and the character was in the Miles Morales cartoon, so I don't think the value's gone up, or it wouldn't have been in the $5 bin, but you would think if you're going to be one of these speculating idiots, that it might eventually go up. I mean, I don't know anything about Miles Morales except for that animated film that played in theaters. I saw the movie, I enjoyed it, thought it was well done, but I don't know anything about Miles Morales beyond that. I don't, that's not the character that I know. I'm sure that there's a lot of people that seek it out. Do they currently make a Miles Morales comic? Because it seems to be a popular character. If they're not, I don't know why they're not. Here's Commandy. This is in real nice plastic for just being put in a $5 bin. A lot of times I'll just keep it in this plastic in my collection with the dot. So this is number 12. I don't think I already own this issue. That's why I got it. I don't really like getting duplicates. Unless it's something that just changed my childhood, like Not Brand X. I'll buy more of that. The new Millie the Model. I'm Cold Clicker. You cold, Marvin? Okay, so because your sweater. I came in this room this morning, it was freezing in this room, and I realized that there's only one vent in this room down there. It had been closed. So I guess my wife likes to freeze out the house during the summer, and Gerald comes here every Friday night, stays the night in this room, and I guess he must have shut that vent. But, when it's 28 degrees outside and the heat doesn't get in this room, it was like, you walk in here, it's just like a haunted room or something. Okay, so Millie the Model. First instinct was put it with the Archies, but no, it's a Marvel comic. It just made it look like an Archie. Okay, Millie the Model. At last, everything's perfect. No more talking, no more moving. And she says, no more film. $170. Okay, it's $169, $170 of Millie the Model. This is Marvel's Greatest Comics, which reprinted the Fantastic Four. Surrender, Torch. Your power is as nothing before that of the Wanderer. It's gonna open up. So this is, I don't really. Oh well. It's a reprint of an old Fantastic Four comic from the 60s. Okay. Wait, no. That shouldn't go with. That should stay in this box. Yeah, because I put the Peter Porkers over here too, and they shouldn't be. Because I'm putting stuff over here that's old and over here that's recent. Like this is recent. Even though it's probably 40 years old, I call this recent. If it's from before the time that I was 5, it's old. That's how I, even though you don't acknowledge that you're old when you're old. Okay, Khazar or Khazar, depending on who you are and how you want to pronounce it. It's Khazar number 3. Khazar. I've always called it Khazar. Why am I bending to the Khazar people? You are doomed. Neither blade nor beast may prevail against the might of the man god. If I was running for president, I would just take my I would just have my speechwriter's copy from old Marvel comics And I would just say these things whenever a reporter asked me a question. I would just say stuff like this. Here's Justice League 124, one of the annual summer appearances of the Justice Society. It looks sun-faded, but it isn't. They're just it's just supposed to be that they're coming from another dimension and dim. See, that's that band across the top, 25 cents. So this is the 75, early 76 era. Here's a Khazar cover from number 5. I love this logo, which apparently is called Trade Dress. Lord of the Hidden Jungle. Strike, Zabu, strike. This day the man-apes must die. And here's Khazar number 2, which I think I already have. I'm not sure. Love the cover with Shanna the She-Devil. Here's the Man-Thing 15. Man-Thing never liked hippies. He still doesn't like hippies. He takes care of hippies. The most startling slime creature of all. He used to always say, whosoever knows fear burns at the Man-Thing's touch. I like that better than the most startling slime creature of all. That should be Hunter Biden's on his business card. Hunter Biden, the most startling slime creature of all. See, you can get all kinds of great stuff from these old comics. Here's the 53rd issue of the Adventures of Little Archie. I'm safe. No, you're out. Little Archie's going to strike out no matter what his answer is. Yeah, Little Archie's fantastic. I thought that was a snake at first. Yeah. Another issue of Khazar. Wonderful cover. Look at that. Almost looks like Neil Adams. Is it Neil Adams? No, oh, it's Frank Brunner. I always pronounced it Brunner, but now I realize that it's probably Brunner. German name. I loved his art. The Invaders. Oh, my wife is calling. I better go see what's up. The Invaders 3. I don't have this one, I don't believe. Okay. Let me go see what's up with my wife. I will allow you to look at this comic book spec. Just see, I'm recording with my phone, and I can't answer a phone call. Okay, I'll go see what's up. I think she was sleeping, and she's probably up and wants breakfast. I'll go see what's up.
soothe, in your nightmares, in the deep, in your favorite horror movies. But not in your living room, on your TV. Don't let pay TV be the monster in your living room. Pay TV and cable TV companies are seeking the right to charge you for the very programs you now get free. If you want to stop pay TV and save free television, sign the petition in the lobby of this theater. Let your lawmakers know how you feel in the fight against pay TV and cable TV. Time for refreshment. Refreshment. For your enjoyment, there's hot, fresh popcorn, tempting, delicious hot dogs, and so many kinds of ice cream. And of course,
Well,
delicious ice-cold Coca-Cola for everybody at the refreshment counter now.
I'm back.
Remember, your favorite
Sorry about that.
especially good with
My wife was waking up and calling, and so we may either, I don't know what time it is, it's probably afternoon, but she was up late and just waking up, and she's not feeling too good, so I may go get food or see what happens. So here's Invaders number 6. I am very hungry, actually. Yesterday there weren't many restaurants open. We wound up eating dinner at a Mexican restaurant. But today is the 2nd of January, so everything should be back open. Here's a copy of Secret Agent. You know, John Drake. In the United Kingdom it was called Danger Man, but here it was called Secret Agent, and they used the song Secret Agent Man as the theme song. Over in England, originally the song was created for the show. Originally it was like, you know, instead of Secret Agent Man, and originally it was like, look out, Danger Man, you know, take care, Danger Man. It was like that, but you know, the show The Prisoner is kind of like an unofficial sequel to this, you know, where he resigns as a secret agent, but they can't let him resign because he knows too much. They kidnap him and take him to an island with all kinds of very cool show, very good show. Here's one of those Jack Kirby covers from the mid-70s on an issue of The Invaders. Here's The Invaders number 10. There's an issue of Space Family Robinson. You know, there's this comic called Space Family Robinson, and when they made the TV show Lost in Space, they obviously knew of this comic. It's not so. I guess to pay Gold Key back for kind of stealing their idea, they let them put Lost in Space in their title. But usually what Gold Key did was make comics based on existing TV shows. Like that Secret Agent I just showed you, which I'm putting in the wrong box. I'm not thinking. I should go over here. So they continued making this comic, even though it was kind of the same. That there was a mom and dad, and there was a young kid and his sister. But there was no Dr. Smith or Robot. It was, the names were a little different. So yeah, but it was a wonderful comic. But the early issues are just going to say Space Family Robinson. So there's another Invaders, the Golem striking. See, there's even older stuff, not in the best condition, in the $5 bin there at that store. It's a store I dearly love. It's about 25 minutes away, 30 minutes drive from my house. Here's Superman 270. On Wednesday night, Graphic Man's doing a live stream, and the 4-color fossils are going to be showing Superman covers, so I may show some of these. This one's interesting. It's Strange Adventures. But of the 8 nations possessing H-bombs in the year 1986, who will trigger World War III? I like how they drew the President of the U.S. looking like a combination of John and Bobby Kennedy, and China, England, France, Saudi Arabia, Africa. I want to look inside this book. Yeah, I'm going to add to my tape ball. It's the new trend, man. Silver Age Dave is onto something. How big will this be by January 2nd, 2023? If man is still alive, he will find big tape balls. Yeah, it's got reprint stories. Look at this. It's interesting. It's a Adam Strange story, but it's a text story with panels but no word balloons. Weird. It's like it's almost like a pulp or a Big Little book. It's got all this text. It's weird. Lots of Adam Strange stories. Boy, this has a very pungent, wonderful old comic smell. Lots of Doctor Strange stuff. Where's the story about World War III? That's what I want to look at. Yeah, these are all reprints, so that may be why that guy looks so much like... Because when this came out, Nixon would have been president, but they sure didn't make that look like Nixon on the cover. You could tell it was someone that wished that Bobby Kennedy had become president. I don't even see that story in this comic. I'll look at it more carefully. Here's one of those wonderful ads for the glow-in-the-dark monster comics. So then, instead of using the original tape, I'll just get 2 new pieces. I'm learning from the masters, like Silver Age Dave. I haven't seen him do a stream lately. Oh, here's some Submariner books. Submariner, I think, is going to be in the new Black Panther movie, so at some point idiots will start speculating and driving up the prices on these Submariner books. The early 70s Submariner books, Bill Everett came back, the original creator of the Submariner, and some of these, they reprint old Submariner comics, and then he does new stories. Sometimes he just writes, but sometimes he actually does the illustrations. And but not in this issue. This is not Bill Everett's art, but he might have written the story. Let's take a look. Now, Steve Gerber actually wrote the script. Steve Gerber was he's the guy that created Howard the Duck, and he did some great writing for Marvel, but he left, and he did not like how he was treated. This is Submariner 53. I was reading that same article I was reading about, when did the Silver Age really end? Did it end in 68? This guy was an old school guy that was buying comics in the 60s. And by the time this era, the 20-cent era, with the picture frames, they started doing these picture frame covers. He was like in college, and he said he hated these picture frame covers. He thought that was the end. And I love the picture frame covers because I was a little kid. It's just one of those things. It's when you start collecting them, the stuff the way they looked then is what you love. So I can't relate to these people that love the 1990s comics and have these crushes on Spawn and Carnage, but I didn't grow up then. I was already 30 years old when all that stuff was coming out, or close to it. So I think I turned 30 in 1995. So I don't have these childhood obsessions with that stuff. And one thing I really don't like is the Marvel zombies. I really think that's disrespectful and kind of horrible. This I bought for my wife, Strawberry Shortcake. See, she's 13 years younger than me, and she grew up with this stuff. Now, my wife's first language is Spanish. So when she sees something like this, that means fool or stupid. But Tonto was not a fool or stupid. Look how he's giving the peace sign, and he's throwing a gang sign out of his other hand. Like he's down with his homies there. But yeah, this goes over here. Let me make sure I'm keeping. Oh wait. This is 12 cents, so this needs to go over here. You guys are supposed to be looking out for me here and let me know when I do this. And this little Archie's older. This should go over here too. I have trouble with the live streams. I don't know how to end them. I don't know. It's just like I don't want to be rude and say, okay, I'm going to bed now, or I gotta go now. It's like I just keep going and going, and then the show just keeps going, and then never ends. Here's a king size special Daredevil. It has twice as many pages and twice as many thrills. See, this is during that time period where they expanded the number of titles they could put out per month, so they started doing these specials and things. I guess it counts as a yearbook. Not a yearbook, an annual. Okay. Ouch, what agony! Presenting Mechano Master, who invented the dart bomb that could penetrate Superboy's invulnerable skin. And he's saying, ha, what ecstasy. That goes over here. That really needs to be bag and board. Okay. I love, this is actually Jimmy Olsen. There weren't 170 issues of Superman Family, but during this time period, around 1975, these Jimmy Olsen comics reprinted old stories, and I loved it. I first encountered it in Tacoma, Washington, at Clark Moore Elementary School, which has now been closed. It was a financially struggling school on the Army base there. Yeah, where did I put? Oh. And it was the teacher, I think he was the math teacher. I don't know what the hell he taught. He left comic books out for us to read when we were done with our work, and he had a couple of copies of Superman Family, and I loved reading these stories about Super Baby and Superboy and all the wonderful old 60s art. There's a story with Supergirl. Actually, some of these look like they might actually be new stories. Yeah, that's a reprint because she's got her Jackie Kennedy era little hat on. Again, this was something I got for $2.50 the other day. I love this cover. I don't think I have this one. Great Scott, my friend Jimmy is leading a regiment of alien soldiers into a suicide charge. How can they conquer a super enemy with toy guns and a flag of Krypton? They'll be wiped out to the last man. General Olson. This is another copy of She-Hulk number 10. Oh wait. That goes over here. Here's ACG, which was a sister company to DC, and they put out amazing books. And the thing I keep telling you every time I show you an ACG book is they had the greatest ads. I don't know why the ads were cooler in the ACG books, but they always were. And I say that having not looked inside this book yet, but let's see if I'm correct or not. Of course, having said that, it's the same old boring fishing ad. And yeah, as soon as I make a statement, a proclamation like that, and it never pans out, the same ad that you saw in the Marvel ads. Boys, men, my secret new Dynaflex method will turn you into a He-Man. U.S. government surplus ad. Oh, they usually had ads for dinosaurs and Frankensteins. And that looks disturbing. Let's see. Here's a pretty good ad for all this magician stuff. But they were ads you didn't see in the other comics. It's a full-page ad for Adventures into the Unknown. Yeah. New gas engines. Oh, come on. Beep, beep. Okay. Electronic computer brain. Yeah, well, this one is letting me down, but usually trust me, they're cool. Grow your own giant monsters kind of ads. Alright. How dare you. This is Roy Rogers Comics. This has got a crease. I put these 25-cent giant DC books with the older books because when DC switched down from 25 cents to 20 cents, from 20 cents DC on, I keep in this room, but this will be one I would put in the other room because to me this has the feeling of that era.
As everyone knows, rainbows usually have a treasure at the end.
And this is definitely going to go in the other room because it's, DC went from 12 cents to 15 cents, then they went to 25 cents. I think Marvel did that briefly for a shorter amount of time, the quarter books, and then they went to 20 cents.
Refreshing soft drinks. Popcorn.
Another issue of Unexpected with a purple cover. DC liked purple covers. They thought they sold better. They might have. They also like gorillas on the covers. And here's Tom and Jerry comics with floating heads. Here's a copy of Where Monsters Dwell. Okay, so that's number 8. So it goes in the other room because it has the corner box. This is issue 13. It has the strip going across the top, so therefore, nice cover. It'll stay in here. So yes, that will split my run of Where Monsters Dwell. I don't know, it's just the way it goes. Here's issue 30. Here's 33 with Trag, the thing that stalks the subways. New York Transit Authority. Where Monsters Dwell, number 34. These were reprint books that reprinted the Atlas monster stories from the late 50s, early 60s. This is what Marvel was doing, these monster comics, right before they went into superhero comics. And then in the early 70s, Marvel started doing a lot of monster reprints. Oh, I guess I got 2 copies of it. I'm not sure why I got 2 copies of it. Here's a Delcona Monster of Monarch Isle. I'm sorry, Monarch of Monster Isle. Getting loopy here. This is in beat up condition, but it was $2.50, and this is a much more expensive book and higher grade, obviously. It's got the origin of Doctor Strange, Submariner, X-Men, the Avengers. There are these great comics. There are these great cartoons from 1966, Marvel superhero cartoons. Some people hate them. I love them. Yes, the animation was just basically Xeroxed from the comics, they didn't move much. Just think of it as a slideshow. Think of it as an old-time radio show with slides from the comic, and you'll be fine. The acting was great. They had John Vernon doing the voice of Iron Man, and the narration. It was great music, library music that they used. They had great theme songs. And there was this French guy, he's a Canadian guy, Jacques Urbant. He went by both names. He wrote the theme songs to the Marvel cartoons. He was just this young guy at the time. He said he went in and talked to Stan Lee, and he didn't know the characters. I guess he was handed a couple of comic books to find out about the characters, and he quickly wrote these songs that are in our memories. We can't get them out. When Captain America throws his mighty shield, and of course the Hulk cartoon, the theme song. Some of the lyrics say, this woman that sounds a little like Betty Boop with that kind of New York accent says, he's no monster clown, who is as lovable as ever-loving Hulk, right? That's in the theme song. And so you're thinking, okay, she's calling you a clown for thinking that the Hulk is a monster. He's no monster, you clown. Who is as lovable as this guy? But in reality, what he meant was, he was saying, you can see this interview, he did it for like PBS or something. It's on YouTube, you can look it up. And he says, well, I looked at the comics and the Hulk was often depicted as a clown. Well, only in one issue of the Avengers, and see, that's what he looked at, right? He saw the Hulk as a clown, so he actually meant he's no monster clown, like monster. He's not a monster clown. He's lovable. So, this is a 1965 issue. So this is probably the very book, not this actual copy, but the book he was handed. I doubt they handed him an old, let's see. So that's why he thought that maybe the Hulk was a clown more often. So, just, this particular issue of Marvel Tales #2, I'm pretty sure is why clown is mentioned in the Hulk theme song. This is an issue of the Lone Ranger. Earlier issues of the Lone Ranger don't show him with the light blue shirt necessarily. A lot of times he has a red shirt because the TV show made it where that is the color he wears. I love this music, man. I can't go through comics without music playing, but the music sometimes gives me a copyright strike, so I figure if I play old drive-in music, surely that can't be anything that's going to bother CBS Viacom. Here's a Western Roundup. You've got all the big guys. For $2.50, this giant thick comic. Let's look at it, shall we? At some point, this show will just end. Unless, because I don't know if I have much memory left on my phone. So if it just ends with me in the middle of a sentence, it's just the way, the natural course of things. Unless, of course, my wife calls back again, and then I'll go get some food because I'm starving. Yeah, this one doesn't have a back cover. Hopefully that ends the story, and the story wasn't continued on the inside of the back cover. But other than not having a back cover, which I guess is a major flaw, this is a wonderful reading copy. It's certainly good for $2.50. Heroes in Petticoats. Damn. It's just very, very cool. You just don't see, I don't know, maybe you do, but I don't see Western comics in stores. Except when I go to that one store. And it might just be because of one buy they made 10 years ago, or someone sold a bunch of Western comics and they're still there. Might just be a couple of major buys that one store makes that makes the store just seem like a wonderland. And then once someone comes along and picks all that stuff out of it, the store may not be that amazing anymore. I think that store still will be. Here's a Mighty Samson, a dystopian future comic. Yeah, see, he's on the Statue of Liberty's face. See, that's cool. You know, that's the thing. Taylor in Planet of the Apes, he didn't go up on the face of the Statue of Liberty and start smacking things. That would have been even cooler. That's what should have happened at the beginning of Beneath the Planet of the Apes. He should have climbed the thing and been up on top of the head of the Statue of Liberty looking around. That would have been a great opening for Beneath the Planet of the Apes, instead of just riding off the other direction. Here's Voyage to the Bottom. Oh, shit, that should go in this. Over here. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. See, you know, they'd made comics of Voyage, so that's how, you know, since Gold Key was making a comic of Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, so probably that's how Irwin Allen saw that they were also doing a Space Family Robinson comic, and just, I don't know. That's probably how that worked. Tweety and Sylvester. He's on a little model train going directly into Sylvester's net. Here's another Western Roundup. Let's open this up and see if the story does continue on the inside of the back cover. Let's start building up our tape ball. This is actually exciting. How big can I make this ball of tape? This issue of X-Men #2 from the second run of X-Men is actually getting kind of pricey, surprisingly. They must have printed 400 billion copies of the first issue of X-Men with multiple covers. Oh, this one doesn't have a back cover either. It must have had a pinup. The kid who owned these comics must have hung up on their wall. That's weird. Yeah, but you know, you can tell that these came from the same collection. God, I'm hungry. What should I go get to eat? Put down in the comments section what I should go eat. Also, make sure you hit the like button, and if you would hit the bell so you'll know when I put up videos. But you know, if you could like talk to some people or tell people, hey, subscribe to this channel, because I'd like to get some. If I could just get the 400 subscriptions by the end of the year, that'd be cool. Here's Mystery in Space number 96. I don't think I showed this on the New Year's Eve show, which doesn't matter because the show doesn't exist anymore. The pellet fish's pearls have disarmed Space Ranger. Wouldn't it be cool if there were creatures like that on Earth? And the diamond tusk of the Lucite beast will finish him off. Yeah. This is an iconic. Don't you love that word, iconic? It's iconic, but it doesn't present well. Yeah, that's another thing. I love the trade dress, and it's an iconic cover, but this issue does not present well. Because, in fact, this one I would not normally buy. The condition is just not up to my standards. It's got a bad spine roll that could probably be pressed out. But it's just not up to my standards. But it's a book I wanted because it's just so iconic. It's really a classic cover. And so now I have it. I can read it. And, you know, it's a good reading copy, I guess. And there's another one of those terms. It's a good reading copy. Here's another Lone Ranger, number 57. Oh, shit. Shit, motherfucker. He should be over. Oh, well. Oh. This is a attempt to bring back Not Brand Ech in the 90s. It was called What The? But this is actually a key issue. It's key issue. It's something that people are... It's starting to get hot. And it's not just because it has a female Wolverine, which was a funny thing back then. Imagine a female Wolverine. Of course, now there is a female Wolverine. But that's not why it's becoming valuable. It's, do you know why it's becoming valuable? Oh, a tape ball, I put it over here. So it wouldn't get dust from the floor. It's got a fake ad on the back. That's one thing is What The didn't have ads, kind of like Mad didn't have ads. The original Not Brand Ech had ads. All the ads are parodies. What
We promise to satisfy your hunger, your
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that X-23 is but it was Wolverina fighting Spider-Ham there. But that's not why. That's why there's a Spawn character in this named okay, I guess his name is Pork Grind. So in this fake Spider-Ham comic is a Spawn parody. So sometimes Maurice Severin would do art in these. Oh, look at that, Milk and Cookies instead of Cloak and Dagger. I actually think that's a better idea. I love that idea, actually. Milk and Cookies. He's like a chocolate chip cookie. They should actually do these characters for real. I'm not even kidding you. Okay, well, just so you know, in case you see it in the dollar bin, look for What The number 20. because those Spawn people are... Have you seen that cover? I don't know what issue it is, but there's some comic where there's a female Venom, and it's on the cover, and it's got gigantic Dolly Parton boobs, and you see it from the side with these giant projectiles, and it's a female Spawn, and that's... People pay a lot of money for that book too. So I'm giving you comic book tips here on the Garage Warlock channel. So I'm telling you what to invest in, what to spec on, and I'm going to send all these books here to CGC tomorrow. So I can never look at the inside of them again. But there's more. Here's the more. What I'm looking for is the lid for this box. Did you guys take the box lid? What the fuck? Okay. Oh, look, it's my Marvel 2022 calendar. It's celebrating 40 years, 60 years. 60 years of the Hulk. Oh my. And 50 years of Warlock. They give these away free at the comic shop. They came with last Wednesday's books. Your shop may have given them all away free. You don't actually want this. Trust me, it's a piece of shit. I got a couple extra if you want one. Here's Warlock number 14. This is something people are starting to speculate on. These Warlock comics were wonderful. But, yeah, because the idea is that Warlock will be in the movie soon. He was introduced in the closing credits of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I like that last Suicide Squad movie, but these commercials I'm seeing for the Peacemaker TV show for HBO, it does not look funny at all. And usually I kind of trust James Gunn, but it just seems like, oh, look, he's saying fuck. It's so funny. I like the eagle. He has like an eagle sidekick. I think that's cool. It's the Secret Origins of the I think I already have this. This is Captain America 142. I got this recently. The one that people are all specking on the last couple of days is an issue of the Hulk, one in the 140s, upper 140s. It's an issue with a white cover, a 20-cent era. Hulk's kind of looking at himself, but there's a character in it called Cryar or something from the Microverse, from some little tiny planet that's in that issue and dies in that issue. But apparently Bill Murray is, the speculators are saying, is going to play that character from that issue in the new Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania movie. So everybody's trying to get that issue. It's sold out on mycomicshop.com. Still affordable on eBay, but I'm seeing more and more shows on YouTube talking about that issue. And I'll have to look. I'm not sure if I have that issue. I do have Tarzan 151 though. But, and this is a key issue. Oh, here's some more Millie the Model. Issue 202. I showed this on the New Year's Eve live stream. People were wondering if that's a flat screen TV about to hit her. Not back in the 20-cent era. It's a astrology. It's a sign from an astrology. Says, "Let's go, Daisy. It's quitting time." Nope, I'm not leaving. According to my horoscope, I'll have an accident if I go out tonight. Yeah, it's just a sign. It says astrology chart. The stars tell the future. You know, when I was in junior high school, I had to walk home oftentimes when I wasn't picked up. And I walked by this canal, right? Well, I read my horoscope one time, and it said, during the next 3 months, there's a good chance you'll drown. Like everybody was born on the planet Earth that's a Taurus or Aries, I can't remember. I was born right on the cusp between Taurus and Aries. So some of the horoscopes would say I'm a Taurus, and some would say I'm an Aries. But anyway, I was like, shit, that's gonna decimate the population of the Earth. This one again is not in my normal. I would never buy something in this condition, but I just looked at it and I loved the cover, and it was $1. See the blue dot? So I pulled the trigger, man, and bought that Grail, that Millie the Model number 204. I had to pull the trigger. It's one of my Grail comics. I've been watching this guy. I like the guy, but he's kind of the opposite of the way I collect. I think his name is Mint Hunter Collectibles. And he's this congenial guy. He kind of seems like an ex-military guy. He kind of has that air about him. But he loves to seek out these. He only wants 9.8 books. He gets all upset if he gets a book back for 9.6. I don't even look. I went into collectible books. I paid some actual money for this book. This was at that same store. I'll show you how see how I strategically put my fingers. You think it's strategic, so you don't see how much I paid. It's number 6 of Harvey. Okay, so it's a Marvel Archie ripoff, right? And it says, "Gee, how come Harvey isn't scared? Because he's seen the picture 3 times with 3 different gals." And I look at this cover. It's one of those picture frame covers in the 20-cent era that I love. I love the colors, bright colors. I love the ghoul on the TV screen. Looks like John Carradine or something. And this was in the high dollar book boxes, right? How much do you think I paid for this? I actually paid this much for this book, man, because this book just spoke to me. It's got monsters, it's got Archie style art. I gotta get this book now, so I got this book because it presents well and it's a Grail, and so I pulled the trigger because it presents well. And I'm gonna send it to CGC, and I'm sure I'll get a 9.8. I really like the trade dress on it too. And speaking of trade dress, this one has a great trade dress. Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes is $1.99. And I probably already have it. I got a bunch. This was in the dollar bin, and there were a bunch of dollar Superboy comics that I got. And it was weird because there were multiple copies of them. There were like 3 or 4 copies of the same issues, but they were all about the same condition. It was obviously they were bought from a collection where they had 3 or 4 copies of each issue, and they were all about the same condition. It was very strange. Here's a Charlton Secret Romance number 13, and this is a 15-cent comic, so I'll put this in the other room. Plus, that's where I got my Charlton anyway. She says, "Karen's not for you." Since when have you ever seen Karen spelled C-A-R-O-N? It's almost like carrion. Karen's not for you. Matt, we're 2 of a kind. You and I, you do want me, don't you? I know you do. How could she? My own sister. Yeah, interesting. That's Secret Romance number 13. Here's Richie Rich's Millions. This is a key issue because this is first issue where Richie Rich began his boxing training, and they're going to be making a movie where Richie Rich is a boxer, and so people are starting to spec on that one. Here's Superboy 201. I love the expressions on their faces on Superboy 204. Superboy 207. Oh, I love this drive-in music. This is the music that plays while they're panning over hot dogs and hamburgers and candy, you know. But on this channel, we're panning over comic book covers. The Life of Captain Marvel. Looks a little like Bill Clinton. I could already have this, but I just on the off chance that I didn't have it, and the fact that it was only $2.50, I got it because that's when they say you must have a mask to come into this supermarket. That's the mask we should all wear, right there. Yeah. Boy, that's hard to read on this Hawkman what number that is. Maybe you can decipher it. Okay. Oh, wait. This is Silver Age. It needs to go in the other box. I don't know what this is. I got it for $2.50 just because I kind of like the cover. I opened it up. It doesn't look very interesting on the inside, but it's like this groovy 60s X-Men cover. I don't know who that's supposed to be. Is that supposed to be Dazzler? I don't know. I did the same thing with this. I don't even know what this book is. I got it because I like the cover. It's good girl art, but it's some fairest, some fairy tale thing from Vertigo, from DC, from about the time that the Green Arrow show started. Okay, so here's Casper. It's got a toy section in it. Let's open that up and look at it. Tape goes onto the tape ball. So let's start all making tape balls, and then we can compare on our channels to see who has the biggest balls by the end of the year. Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves. Did I just show that to you? No, you just saw it. Stop whining about it. Okay. Anyway, Casper. Look at Spooky with his eyelashes. He looks a little feminine there. This is great. Oh, look at that Casper bringing Christmas presents. Yeah, this is tremendous. This is the toy catalog in the center. You see, they draw the eyelashes a little bit more in this era.
Watch our screen and local newspapers for all the fine shows coming this way. Show after show will feature the latest hits, the biggest stars for fun-filled, pleasure-packed evenings. Relax. Come as you
Boris
are.
Karloff, Tales of
Spend an
Mystery,
enjoyable night out with the
issue
entire
87. It's 35 cents.
No parking
I just thought
problems,
this cover
no
painting,
babysitting.
the colors were very spectacular and unusual to me.
Snacks at our
It
modern
just,
refreshment stand.
something about it.
Thanks, folks. And once again, welcome back.
A little bit earlier from the 25-cent era.
We are about to witness the takeoff of the first man.
I don't like it when they put the title, Mail Order Monsters, right across the painted art. 60s, in the early 60s or mid 60s, Gold Key for a while on the back cover had their art without the logo and all the word blurbs, or a trade dress. Brides in Love, stories of brides in love. On the live stream the other night, I showed that, you know, they're giving away, it says win your own car, and then it says beneath it Plymouth Fury Jr. or Thunderbird Jr. And you think, well, how are they giving away cars to little kids or little girls that read this comic? And then the key is that it says Junior, and these were actual cars that were miniature cars that kids could. Because I opened it up and looked at it, and I think at the time Graphic Man was co-starring on my live stream. He was there, and we were talking about it. I think he was there, and I showed these are very collectible. They would make these toy cars that had gas engines in them, and looked just like miniature versions of the cars that your parents would ride in, and they would give them away as promotions at the car dealerships, so the kids would get their dads to go into the car dealership, and then while they were there, the dads would look at the real cars. And but anyway, these cars are very valuable now, the toy ones. And I showed on the live stream the first Pizza Hut ad from 1965. If you look up first Pizza Hut commercial on YouTube, you'll see it. And there's a grown man driving around in a Mustang Junior that they did for the Ford Mustang, which looks just like a red Ford Mustang, but little car. You can get in, steer, and but anyway, that's the trick of this. Is they're miniature cars. They're not real cars, but they're still amazing and worth a lot of money. I'm trying to find that. Oh, here it is. The Giant Jingle Contest. See, they're giving away these toy cars. Yeah. This is Stories of Brides in Love, number 21. Key issue. Here's Phantom Stranger, number 35. Margaret, stop, you can't leave me now. See, that's a grown Dennis the Menace, and then that's Margaret, his childhood friend or enemy, whatever you want to call her, frenemy. Okay, you can still find these super cheap, these reprints of the early 70s Warlock comics. They're done, they have several issues reprinted, each one with higher quality paper. These were done, I think, in the early 80s, maybe about 81. You got, this is issue 5 and 6. If you want to read the Warlock stories, but you don't have the money to buy the originals, although they're not that expensive, but they're going to get up there because people are going to start specking on them. They already are. It's already going up in price. Another Phantom Stranger. I love this cover, the Spectre.
Do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you
This isn't a very valuable book. But it's a cool cover. Batman book.
Friends, Sunday, June 15th is
Batman number 455. I think I've shown you everything I got at the at Duncanville.
Bring him great pleasure. How about it?
I think so. It's in here. I got some sad sacks the other day. I'll look through them. I'll show you the cool ones. I'll do that another day when I get in the other room. Here's the first Hellblazer in the Swamp Thing issue. So prices are all over the map on this. People pay $300 to $500 even that aren't even graded. And then people are, it's just, if you look on eBay, the price is all over the place. So look in dollar bins and look for yellow Swamp Thing covers, because you might be finding that one. I'm trying to build a run. I'm trying to get all the Swamp Thing books. Who will I ever add them? I need to watch that Swamp Thing TV show. We watched the first episode like twice of that show that started on the DC channel, and it's now on HBO. And then they didn't even do a second season, and then they stopped it. They didn't even film the last 2 episodes. They combined them. They shut it down before they even finished the first season. And it looked really cool. They had some, but apparently it was not. For some reason they wanted it shut down. I wish I could find the lid to this box. Oh, I guess I should show you the Batmobile I got the other day. Let's go do that. I started putting these things on the front of boxes. These things. But I need to go see about food downstairs. Oh, there's the lid. I'm going to do a house tour in a few days for the new year, and hopefully by the end of the year we won't even still be here. We'll be off somewhere. We got to escape the big or larger city and move somewhere smaller. You may say, well, how are they going to move all this neat stuff? Trust me, I'll be able to do it. Don't worry about it. I got this for Christmas. This is Amigo. That's Amigo, Creature from the Black Lagoon, giant 14-inch size deal. Okay, let me show you the Batmobile. I was able to put it in place the other day. Everything's all confused here. Okay, I don't know if the light's gonna be good enough. And then everything's real dusty in here. Shit. So, see, I've got these. I can't really tell when I'm shooting because that's the Aurora model Batmobile. Anyway, I added this Funko Pop Batmobile from 1950. I have this one and this one also. I've got a few other Batmobiles. I don't have like a world-class Batmobile collection, but yeah. I need better light in here. I'll get better light, don't worry. Well, I added some stuff over here too. This friend of mine did a 3D printed Thanos and Ant-Man that I put there. He just gave them to me. And then these are the few busts I have. And I just added that Wanted Dead or Alive Steve McQueen bust. And then in here I'm filing these comics that I got the other day into these boxes. But it's a major ordeal to get everything done. Now let me get back in the other room. There's Alan the cat. Oh, there's Alan and Pete over there. I wonder what they're up to. Okay. I gotta grow that beard back. I'm just way too fucking ugly. The more hair you have, the more you hide your hideousness. Okay. Well, let's shut this down because I think I'm going to wrap up this episode of the Garage Orloff Show. So I've been playing music. I'm at the 3-hour mark. I recorded 6 hours of music. So let me stop that. Turn that off. Turn off this quadraphonic stereo. Turn off this light. Okay. What do I need to get? I need to get the charging cable. Okay. Okay. I gotta get my wife's tablet I brought up here. Get my glasses that I use for my Comic Tom impression. But they're actually what I use when I drive. Or I have a sunglasses prescription too. But today is kind of cloudy and cold, so I'll just use these. So, anyway, if you guys would, let me show you this before we go. They used some stores used to print their own backing boards, and so this store, Grand Slam, which had 3 stores, 2 stores in Fort Worth and in Saginaw, Texas. They're out of business now, but back in the 90s, they'd give you this backing board with Lady Death. But on the back, you can see it was not acid-free. You can see the outline. It's like the Shroud of Turin of the comic, and sometimes you can see like a X-ray of the art, the ad on the back cover. Here's another one that has the image stuff on the back from that same store. I found these and I just saved them just because, I'll probably put them in a bag and board just because they're interesting artifacts of a long ago time period that apparently some people are nostalgic for. Though I kind of like Lady Death. Shit. I remember all those Evil Girl comics. It was Purgatory and Lady Death. There are actually some pretty good action figures made from all that. Anyway, let me go see what's going on downstairs. Talk to you soon. Bye.